Hi, and welcome again to the Savvy Singers TV show. I'm your boy, Marlon Bailey, on the inside. And we are happy to be with you, happy that you are logged on right here. And you know, we're about educating, empowering, and entertaining. And today, no other special day, we have siblings coming to discuss their roles, the functions, giving us insight about producing, you know, mastering, putting out good content out there, their experience. And we want to get to know these guys. I know you're probably wondering, siblings in the industry, you're trying to narrow down who they are, but we'll easy up with that, right? So please welcome Daniel and Nathanael Hamilton on the inside of the studios today, guys. How are you all doing?
You're all right, happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Nice. Brothers in ministry, brothers in the industry, brothers working side by side, doing your things. So tell us about that. Where did it all begin?
Tell us about that, Daniel.
Wow. To be honest with you, I think it began maybe in Jamaica. Our family spent 4 years in Jamaica.
Okay.
My dad was studying, doing theology and stuff like that, so he took the entire family with him. He wasn't the type to leave and study, and their families in Trinidad, you know?
Right.
So he took the entire family with him, and I distinctly remember my first experience holding a drumstick and realizing that it was extremely heavy as a child. I think that was my first introduction to music. And Ryan will let you know what his entry point was.
It actually was Jamaica as well. Probably like age 5 or 6 thereabouts, I would have started piano classes.
Right.
Yeah, with his German instructor was very strict. You know, I remember having
the licks on your knuckles.
Yeah, not very hard, but you know, enough to remind you that you're doing the wrong thing. Yeah, so that's where it started for me: classical, piano, music theory, practical, and being pastors' kids.
Right. So that was going to be my next question to you guys. How is that, you know, as PKs, as we call you guys, growing up in that home? You know, you said there's a point in time that you migrated to because Dad was pursuing his calling. All right. So tell us a little bit about growing up as brothers, all right, and growing up as PKs.
All right.
Well, you're in church for sure. For sure, you're in church.
You don't miss a service.
You don't miss much, you know, unless in age you're there.
Right.
And I think for us, it was just a matter of having these very same things that we're passionate about, being able to participate in ministry with the things that you love doing.
Right.
So, of course, you're involved in church music, whether you're youth group choir, the youth worship team, Sunday school, that kind of stuff. We play. We might not have any main, you know, we had a backup team of musicians, right? So we would have been on the
backup team.
Yeah, you would have been on the backup team playing keyboard or playing drums. If the drummer stay home on the keyboard.
Right, you get your blind to shine.
Nah, that's really how it started off. But you know, I mean, that in itself is a blessing because you get to be around guys that would have been more experienced and doing it for some time. So you get that level of discipline, that level of exposure, and you get to learn from them as well. You know.
Yeah. So Daniel, being a PK.
Oh man, you know, much shout out, not like big shout outs to our parents, because even though both my mom and my dad, they have their qualifications in theology and stuff like that, and my dad was the pastor, you know, still is bishop, you know. It was never a space where we felt a whole lot of pressure to be of a particular standard, and you know, the whole stereotype with PKs. I mean, like Ryan said, as far as church attendance goes, you can't beat us, right? We had to be there now, you know, we had to be there. But at the same time, as much as we remember being in church all the time, we do remember having a lot of fun with parents, you know, whether it was football or cricket or you know, basketball even sometimes, you know, we didn't have one of those spaces where
wasn't passed at home.
It was
right. So the balance was there.
The balance was
you know,
there.
your father was, or your
was
parents were very much about that holistic development.
Definitely.
The balance, just church, but also family life is important. Yeah, so that's important. That's good, man. That's good. That's good. So, who's the oldest in this?
Who are you looking at right now? Who are you thinking is the oldest?
I would say Daniel.
Okay.
Why would you say that?
I don't know. It's just a connection. I don't know. I just feel so.
He feels
He feels
it.
All right or wrong? We don't want to discuss.
Maybe at the end of it.
All right, cool. That'll be a bonus track on the interview.
Y'all can guess. If you
It's
all
gonna
can
be
guess.
like stream people gonna be able to comment on stuff like when they look at this.
Yeah.
Alright, so y'all, I don't know which
Y'all
camera
guess,
I'm looking at. Y'all comment and let us know.
And guess the ages too. If you get it right, we do something nice.
Why do something nice?
We do something
Train
nice.
all the yellow jersey for you
Yeah,
guys.
we do
you know?
something nice.
No, you see, they saying it. I didn't tell them to say
No, we
anything,
do
right?
something.
So we'll do something.
Right.
Okay, that's awesome. That's
No
awesome.
problem.
Listen, he's gonna sponsor and make it happen, you know?
I like back at the host, right? Okay, awesome, guys. So now that you all have gone through that, you have come into your own space as musicians, songwriters, right? And you know, before I go there, I hear you're referring to him as Ryan,
Correct.
right? So that's our home name.
Yeah, well, that's a home name too. It's also a government name. It's a birth certificate. But the name is actually Ryan Levi Nathanael Hamilton.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
just through the singing and the music. I use Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
Yeah, but it's the
Alright,
same
so we're
person.
getting to know these guys.
Yeah. This is Daniel Ruel Hamilton.
I only get 3.
Right. All right, cool, nice. So coming into that, you come to the place where you're now full-fledged. You're not the backups anymore. You're all the main musicians. And now coming into your own as musicians and the calling, right? So you're now producers, songwriters, all right? So give us a little insight on that. When did you discover the ability to write? Is it something that's natural?
I would say still discovering.
Yeah?
Yeah. So still discovering. I think for me, it's just growing up listening to music and just being in that space. Creating after a while just come natural, and you want to be able to put out something, compose something, so you start experimenting with different things, whether it's behind the keyboard or with different studio programs. I remember my uncle came one time and he said, you know what? Try this. Cakewalk or something like that. All Windows computer, you know what I mean? It's just messing around, and over time you start, I think for me it's just connecting with other people that were passionate about the same thing.
Right.
And start trading information. So probably secondary school, even into university.
Right.
And I started dabbling in songwriting and producing music. And the more you do it, the more you develop. Expose yourself to information, seminars, workshop.
Right.
And it just keep developing from there, if I can put it like that.
There's a constant
Yeah,
growth.
yeah, that constant
right, and you
involvement.
continue going at it.
Yeah.
So Daniel, more music? More
Yeah,
music?
music, production, songwriting, pretty much the same as
Same.
Nathaniel, minus the artistry aspect of it, you know?
Yet.
I guess what he said, he hit the nail on the head. It starts with environment, you know? Being a younger brother, if I've said this before, you know, you see people, that's all right, I'm hungry. I'm hungry, right? By now, y'all would have answered, and congratulations, you know. So
I saw one of the comments.
Right.
Yeah, we seen it on the screen. Yeah, you.
Yeah. So I mean, again, once you're in that environment, you know, you're seeing things happening, you know, whether it's music and it's songwriting and so on and so forth. Obviously, there's a point in life, and I think it may have been late in secondary school where I decided, I'm actually gonna explore doing this a little bit more seriously. I think maybe like the decade and a half prior to that, it was just vibes, as you will say. You know, you like music, so you're just doing it, and you're playing around, experimenting, doing stuff like that. And you know, eventually, you begin to gravitate to this and you say, but wait, you know, I could actually continue doing this. I could make a living. I could, you know, explore this a little bit more. So as Ryan said, you know, we explore the seminars, the workshops, the YouTube videos, you know, enroll yourself in the University of YouTube, you know, and it works out, you know, it works out. You learn, you grow.
That's it. You invest in your gift, invest in your talent, invest in yourself. Yeah. All right. So any one of you, right, could take this. So I'm someone that wants to, I get up. I have a chorus, right? And I'm saying, okay, cool. I want to get a song out of this chorus, right? And I say, okay, send you a little small recording in the background, that kind of thing. What does it take to produce a track, to produce something from someone?
So are you asking what the conversation between us and yourself would be like? I would firstly explore the conversation in terms of who you are, you know, what you're into, what was the experience that actually gave birth to this? I mean, yes, you woke up, but was there any other element happening there? Is it that the bed sheets had a scripture in it, or is it, you know, you had something you had a dream, Martin Luther King situation.
At your window one morning.
These things happen. I mean, it's true, you know. So we'd explore that entire aspect in terms of inception and inspiration, you know. How did we get there, you know? And I pass on the baton on to.
So after you explore the person's personal connection to the content that they put forward, I think for me it's just a matter of trying to capture their sentiment without actually touching any musical equipment or anything. You kind of just trying to get into that whole emotional as well as the spiritual aspect of it, because for me those are the things that will shape the mood or we're trying to achieve. So we'll enter into our conversation. It's like, all right, so where's seeing this going? What type of effect or impact you intend for this to have? And then we try to look at the content from there. And then I was like, hey, Daniel, you take it from here. Let's pass it.
Right, and pass it. So y'all work together, basically, in the whole production of it. Okay, cool. And, you know, like you said, the person give you the insight and some of that, they express that to you. From the, like you said, you're now going into the studio and you're working out. Is it any other time that persons come to you and they have a genre in their mind and you would advise them to switch that?
So in terms of, like I said, with the emotional and that sentiment part of it, for us, we always try to lean towards the mood of what's being said and the desired effect that you want. So sometimes you hear somebody say, well, this is really what I want to say. And then listen and be like, you know what, this might be more suited to something faster, you know, something like, I believe that certain genres and certain chords, certain frameworks in the music will speak to certain topics and thematic concerns better. So between us a lot of times, like, nah, I feel this is more this or this more that, or the song should be darker or the song should be lighter, you know, depending on what's being thought about.
Okay, that's good. You said something there, you know, the chords and chord progression. And as musicians, you all understand those things. Sometimes, as probably who's coming with a gift, they may not understand all of that, what you're saying. And they just have something I pen on a paper or an idea. And they say, okay, cool, or them work a miracle, make magic, that kind of thing. But understanding those chord progressions and things. So bring us into the mind of a producer. Bring us into, like, you're going to, now you have all the raw material, right? And now we're going to fuse that together to bring a finished product. So talk to us.
To be honest, I'll expand it a little more and say that it begins before you enter into the studio space. You know, our diet as musicians and as music listeners, I think is extremely important for the way that we've developed over the years. Because what you listen to, usually that's what you most naturally will try to reproduce, or even just naturally reproduce. You know, you may not even be giving it a whole lot of effort, it just kind of flows from you. And throughout the years, we've had the privilege, again through our parents, to be exposed to everything, you know. So from Hillsong to Sandy Patty to Helen Baylor,
Stitchy and Papa San to Papa San, Cook Franklin, then there's Brooklyn Tab, then there's Rashoti and he loves Carlin Davis, and then come back and showing Gardner.
It was insane.
Really eclectic. And for me, that influences sound a lot in that you come into a room or you listen to music with this width. You come in with this width now. It's like, all right, you have some. Because what you find a lot of the times, if you just listen to the same thing over and over and over and over and over, like this is their framework, you don't really have a room to create for anything outside of that. So when somebody came, sometimes you might find yourself forcing what they bring you into your space when what they brought might actually work. And even within ourselves, I might have like certain things that I more lean to, and if I Daniel have certain things that he more lean to. So sometimes something fall here, and I'll be like, boy, I hearing this, you know, but I feel like that might be here, you know, and he might start like, boy, I play some keys and fling it back. I'm like, boy, I listen to this, I do fling it back to him. And that's actually how we work. Like sometimes somebody send him a song and he just send me the acapella and vice versa. I'm like, no, I hearing something real warm and heavenly. Like, yo, Daniel, that's you,
So understanding what your gift is, understanding who you are, your individualism, what you bring to the table is important. You know,
what you listen to, it gives you that width, that
knowing your limits as well too. That's very important. You know, because as much as we might say that we have this experience and we have all of this possible knowledge to this point, there are still stuff that we hear and we might say, hey, call this man, boy, we want this drummer, or we want this key. Even though we both classical piano, we train, sometimes I hear a song and I be like, nah, boy, call this one to play keys. Call Charles Ryan, you know, he might say, call Body Rock. Call Casey, that's really hard.
And that's all the networking. And being able to refer person. I like that, and that's selfish.
The main objective is making sure that we pull out the best from this song. And sometimes that's not in you in isolation. So we might have to make a call and say, we want the best for this. You have that realm outside of what we have, and that's a big part of our approach.
Nice.
I think it also plays on the whole thing about being a jack of all trades, because looking at the fact that we've been exposed to so much music, I guess it's brought us to a point where we have a pretty decent understanding of each genre, but then you come across guys like Grant would have called who specialize in particular, you know, and when you come to them and you say, whoa, all right, this is your thing, bro, you know, and you realize that they literally explode, you know. But yeah, like you said, networking.
Definitely. And now produce, and I want you to speak to the creatives over there, you know, songwriters, persons that are, and what do you look for at advice in bringing out good music, quality work? You understand? And I know we're not going to tell you your thing not good. You understand? But you understand, we still have a standard. We still want to impact lives. You know, what would you say to someone listening to us having this discussion?
So, the good and the bad thing could be relative. But I think between us, we established that there are certain things that are just, this is just how it is. Firstly, of course, as Christians, we try to inspect the content. It might not necessarily be this very mature song, but I think what we look for is just alignment. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I might come with a song that not necessarily this big worship, but he's speaking from where he's at in Christ. And for us, it's like, all right, this is alignment with the word. He might be on level 3,000, but there's perfect level 3.
He's on the track.
And there are people that we could speak to on level 3 as well. So the first thing that we would look for is that solid biblical content that aligns with what the word of God says.
I think again, like what Ryan says, relative. So our way is a way, not the way.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Okay. I understand.
And from that perspective, again, just pulling from what we shared before, everything is really about environment, which is something I share with people when I get the chance to. The message comes first, and then the music, we try to create an environment for the message to thrive, essentially, you know? And
So nice, I like what you said. Guys. Yeah.
Right. So based on that now, we ask people to provide musical references for where they want to go, you know? Because even though you want to create something that's fresh and new, every single thing that we create has an imprint of something that exists before, you know? And it's just, it's a humbling experience for some people. But it's a pill that you should swallow as soon as possible.
Just take it.
Everything was influenced by something.
Exactly.
Yes.
Even if you get these hybrid sounds that have multiple things happening inside of it. Yeah. All these multiple things come from somewhere. It's just never been put together in this way. You know?
Nice.
Which is what we
possibly.
Awesome.
Well, that's that we know.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So we just want to say thank you guys for passing through and sharing your heart, your passion. You know, you see how these guys connected. You know, just he start, he finish, and he just finish. So you know you're getting sound information. And I just want to thank you all for taking the time for being here with us. Yes, you are here at the Savvy Singers TV show. Thank you for bringing us into your space where we can educate you a little bit on, you know, taking your craft and going into that direction of understanding content, alignment, right? Understand that sometimes you have to humble yourself to move forward. All right? Take the advice of those that have been there before. So thank you again for joining us. Remember, the only person that can prevent you from achieving your goal and your dreams is you, the one looking in the mirror. All right? So go forward, maximize the moment, live, live, live. Love you guys.